We want to thank Trust Payment Systems for their support of the podcast. Trust is an all-in-one banking platform created specifically for construction businesses.
Get paid fast. Let customers pay how they want via credit card or ACH bank transfer. Totally free. Credit card fees passed off to clients automatically, and ACH is free. Mobile check deposit with no holds. Get paid instantly with no holds or reserves for better cash flow.
Pay subs and vendors. Easy to pay sub trades and vendors quickly via ACH bank transfer or check that Trust will print and mail for free. Unlimited charge cards for staff with real-time spend limits. Get free rewards for using Trust charge cards for cash back, travel rewards, and gift cards from top stores.
Trust is secure and insured with the FDIC for $3 million. With Trust, there are no monthly fees, no account fees, and no ACH bank transfer fees. Thanks again, Trust, for sponsoring this podcast.
Thank you, Trust.
Welcome back to the Passion for Craft podcast, the 100th episode of the Passion for Craft podcast.
Crazy.
So we brought back the original member. Just, special occasions require special things. We didn't really tell you that until 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. They just called me and I just rolled out of bed and came over. No,
You look great
no, it's
for
good to
rolling
be
out of
back.
bed. Yeah.
Though. Now I'm back in the A studio.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is the right
You got to
place.
know people to get in there.
We had to vet you out there.
Yeah.
No. It's so 100th episode. Thank you to patrons. Thank you to subscribers on YouTube for being a part of this journey. Thanks for you guys putting up with me.
So this one, when it originally started, he was the apprentice, journeyman, master, and now he's been at school. He's kind of knows a little bit. So we're actually going to...
I feel like I'm an actual apprentice now. I
Right,
think
not
prior
just-
to this point, I don't think I was an apprentice. I was like a layman.
Yeah.
You know?
You were
I
like
think
a DIY, like bench building Lowe's guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that?
I remember that. Still go to
Still
Lowe's.
haunts his
Yeah,
memories.
I love Lowe's. No. I think things have changed a lot since figuring
I
stuff
bet
out.
They have.
Well, he said Jackson was setting these tools out, and Richard was like, "Well, you might know more about those than I do," which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
It's probably true too. I don't use a whole lot of hand tools like that.
I wanted to know with your, well, we got a lot to catch up on because you got the Windsor Lab now. You got some fun stuff that you've been doing on your channel. So we want to talk about that, of course. But then also, I want to know about, like, this is selfish. I want to know how much you use hand tools on the job and like other stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, is there a place for that in what you do?
There is, but sadly, like not enough.
Yeah.
It's probably like 5% of the time I'm grabbing like a chisel or like a planer.
So when you do stuff, do you do them to like a hand finish level, like where you run a plane across it so that it has that hand finish? It's always through the machine.
It's always like it's like ripped on a table saw, run across like a planer,
Right.
routed, and then sanded with like a machine. Like an orbital hand sander, or I have like a surf prep sander.
Right.
There's not a lot.
I would say a lot of that stuff though is pretty similar, like because we joint it, face it, plane it, like we do all that stuff
by hand.
No, like
with
without
the machine.
But we leave a 30-second on everything, and so we like have that final thing be hand planed.
That's
because
cool.
it doesn't make sense to fully do all of that stuff by hand when there's
You know how, but you
I know
don't-
how,
you,
yeah.
you don't do it practically every day when you're building stuff.
right, because to plane through 8 levels of, or I mean even an eighth of an inch
Be a
of something
lot.
is a lot to take off.
Yeah,
it
and
just
you're
doesn't
on a
make sense.
time limit and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's time's money and
Yeah. Well, and you probably got to cover so much curriculum.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
true. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
But a lot, I think one of the things that like is cool about the school, I think, is there's so many, like we get to use tools like this. Like this is a tongue and groover. Have you seen this one?
I have not.
It's really cool. So it's
That
like,
is cool.
you can see the two blades. This is for the tongue.
Yeah.
So it'll cut away those parts.
The shoulders. Yeah.
Just to get it on a camera, maybe. It'll cut away, so their shoulders hold up. And then when you're done, you pull this pin, and then you push this to the side.
What?
And it pivots. And then now, if you look at the profile,
That's your groove.
it'll leave
right?
behind the groove. Yeah. So it leaves just a groove.
That's really cool.
It's
cool.
so clever because you just lift this little pin. And this one, obviously, this is more of a display piece. This is you use this all the time.
There's not many working planes here anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, but it's a cool tool because you can.
I think the
use
coolest
it like
thing about that tool is whoever thought of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever
like a genius.
Yeah, figured out, hey, you know what? We could all do it in one plane if we just did it this way and there was a pivot point.
You just swip it.
Yeah, and so
the people at Stanley really pioneered so many cool things, like how to do, like the combination plane is another example of something that has like so many different things, because you can cut beads, you can cut datas,
like
you can cut rabbits, you can cut
55.
Yeah, you can do all these different things
crazy.
on it. But yeah, now we have router. And
But
that does most of it.
you have a Lee Nielsen low angle block plane.
Yeah, I'll use that the most.
Yeah.
I don't profile anything
Yeah.
by hand. I like that sash one you usually have up here.
Yeah.
I think it's up here.
That profiled sash one.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, mine's actually a little bit smaller than that. That little block plane.
Yeah, I got that as a gift. That was a custom made block plane.
Yeah, I remember you went up there. Is this Lee Nelson, right?
No, it's a
It
custom
looks like it because they use the brass, but
Oh yeah,
bronze
what did I say?
brass.
that's nice.
Isn't that nice?
I don't think anyone heard what I said because it wasn't in the mic.
I put mine on a display like this, and I got a comment that some guy was like, "You always
I know,
lay 'em
you're
like that."
supposed
Are
to
you
put it on
supposed
the-
to?
Yeah.
Supposed to put it on the side.
I guess I don't use it enough to know. But
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to, or if you have it on its butt like that, or like on the bottom, you could just back the blade out,
yeah,
because then you're not
You're not
resting,
touching
because
the
they're worried
blade.
about resting the blade, and then also I guess the warping of
The warp
the bottom.
thing is what I started. So tell us what you're up to. What's going on?
Well, he mentioned like the Windsor lab. So this is where I'm teaming up with Windsor One, and kind of they want to show what you can do with their products. So build a door, like a tongue and groove door. We did that one, and I've got a lot of other stuff. Like we're doing like a T&G wainscot. We got your 100-year window in there. It's looking
Nice.
cool. I'll trim that out. Then I'm gonna do like a like where the window stool becomes a chair rail. Like
Nice.
show all that.
Oh, that's great.
A
like
big
how to
paneled
build that
wall.
out from
Yeah, like
wainscot
how-
to.
Like how all those transitions work right there.
Oh my
Like-
gosh!
Like I love that kind of stuff.
I need
Like
you
how
to
it
make
all-
one on a pediment too.
Yeah, that would be cool. That's not in our ideas, but I'm sure they'd be open to it.
You should do
That
that.
would be cool.
Me and a buddy are
um,
trying to make a pediment right now, and it's
By hand, like with all planes and
we have the option to use hand planes or a molder, but we're trying to figure out like what stuff to do and all this other stuff. So we're trying to figure it out.
yeah,
We don't know.
that would be awesome if
Yeah.
y'all pulled it off. So we're doing that. I got a paneled wall in there, a coffered ceiling, a mantle going in. I came over and took those pictures of your books the
Oh,
other day.
did you end up taking one of those?
I took those pictures from your books, but those are really cool. But I feel like the ones they want to do are more of like the ones with the legs and then
Traditional, yeah.
Like yours, the ones in yours were like a lot of like quarter sawn oak.
Yeah,
and stuff.
those when you said an arts and crafts mantle, you probably just mean a Kelowna revival.
I
mantle.
probably did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were saying like arts and crafts, craftsman. So I'm like, I know a guy who has a ton of books. I'll go see if he has anything. But yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then they want us to do like an exterior section,
Cool.
and then they're gonna
That's a
have
good
some
idea.
other guy.
Because their product is primarily for exterior, right? Or
No.
like
It's about half and half.
Is it really?
It started exterior boards.
Right.
Is how they started.
And then you did the molding
Then
line
the
for
molding line to take it inside.
yeah.
And now it's I think it's still probably boards. It's still,
Okay.
You're probably
I just
right.
know their glue is super
I
good
came
to where it
across a video of you with Bob Vila showing that big. They had two carpenters building it, and he's like, "What are these moldings, Brent?" And you're like, "Well, it was so cool."
That
to
was
see
on
that was so long ago.
that was a long time ago. What was his show called?
I forgot, but it's still on his website.
Oh, is it really?
It's bobvila.com or something.
Home
and
Again. Isn't it Home Again?
I think it is Home Again. That sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah, we get part of the Windsor product placement was to provide crown for that, and they sent me up there to talk to Bob about the crown. He's pretty intense. Like he doesn't know much, but he's intense. And so he's like,
doesn't know much.
he commands a lot on camera. And so the way he talks
he's putting
to
on
you,
a show.
yeah, the way he talks to you is just, it sounds like he knows what the heck he's doing. Now these are molding dry, Brent.
Yeah, there you go.
So then you
Oh,
go,
you're so young.
oh, look at that haircut.
Nice.
These are moldings, right, Brent? That's so funny.
Wow, look at those pleats in my pants.
Sorry to bring that up.
That's so awesome.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Was that here? Was that filmed here?
No, it was up in New England.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're doing that, and just I
Embarrassed? What's going on?
I don't have those pants on in my videos. I'm just wearing jeans.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call.
I had to get it camera ready.
Well, I feel like camera ready was a lot different back then too.
Yeah,
You're talking about back then. How long? That was probably
2001. You're young.
Yeah, that
maybe
was probably
maybe
25
earlier.
years ago. It might have been longer ago than that.
Maybe in 90s.
I didn't mean like back
does
then
it say
like
a
that.
date on there? I think it's like 2005.
Okay.
Actually, 20 years ago.
Let's see, I was
Man,
born in
you had those
04.
pleats when
No,
I was in
just
fifth
kidding.
grade.
I'm just messing around. It was 80. I was born in 89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did that. I'm doing that, and then still
Thanks for
working.
bringing that up, by the way.
That's great. I'm glad you brought that
I've been
up.
waiting to bring that up for so long. Just kidding. And then I'm still working in the field.
Do you like it?
Doing
How
that
many guys
Gilbeck
you got
house.
now?
Well, we could talk about guys a little bit. Since the Windsor thing came along, I had this kind of perfect storm of cutting back on some guys a little bit. And I'm finding out it's hard to find good help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just hard to find
Yeah.
good help. I had to let a guy go recently, unfortunately.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So you back to just you and John, or you and Don,
Me, John,
Tom?
and Tom. Yeah.
That's cool.
And Tom's kind of on standby because Tom's like retired. He just loves doing this stuff, and he loves helping us out. So me and John are like the perfect team for the Windsor shoot, and I can just focus on that where I don't have to like worry about keeping people busy. Then I can just
You're doing it in your garage?
No, it's in actually a storage container. Funny
really?
enough, yeah. I know.
Is that what it is?
It's a storage container.
Okay, I didn't
it's a
realize
big
that.
RV storage.
It's
container.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just right up here off 35.
That's so funny.
And I go in there and I'm like talking to the sales girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do y'all have like an adapter for that outlet? And she's like, oh, we don't have electricity here. So I had to like go buy a generator and stuff. So when we make a cut on like the saw, I literally go out there and like pull a generator.
No way.
Make my cuts and then go turn it off so you can't hear it. And Dave told me, he's like, Brent said we could do it at his shop.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's going to be so loud there.
Well, if you'd gone up there, if you did it on the weekends, it wouldn't have been anything, but you probably didn't want to do that.
We're doing it like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's funny. Yeah. And then the bathroom for the place is at the office. And we have to like walk like half a mile to use the bathroom.
So funny.
I mean, I could drive up there, but I just
Yeah.
walk. So it's kind of a funny. Oh, the other thing, I was telling Austin about this a little bit before we started. I don't know if you've had it where like you build something that you know you're going to tear down. It's such a weird feeling. Like I'm doing all this stuff and I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, I have to tear this out one day because this is just temporary.
Yeah.
It's such a weird feeling to get past
That is
because
so
I'm like,
funny.
I need to try hard, but I'm just going to tear it out. Like it's weird.
So, where are you like planning on being there long term, short term? Like, I know you're saying one day, but what does that mean?
I'll probably be there for 6 months. I think.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Wait, doing the lab?
Yeah, because it's taken a long time. It's taken a long time to set up and like film and get the ideas of like how we're going to execute on.
You know, they used to have Gary Katz do it. So you're like the new Gary
You're
Katz.
the new Gary Katz.
I don't want to take, no one can take his place, but
that's pretty
I know
cool.
what you're saying. Yeah. And so Windsor's really flexible. Like if I need to go help at the Dilbeck project,
Yeah.
Dave's like, yeah, whatever you need to do. So
You're working in Dallas on that Dilbeck?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I like that house.
That's a
I
cool
saw that
house.
update.
That's a really cool house.
It's
Yeah.
a really cool
That
house.
Pecky front door.
Isn't that
It's
crazy?
like a little hobbit hole, you know?
Yeah.
Arch thing. It's really. Was that house always painted?
I think so.
Really?
Pretty sure.
Because I would have thought it was like a natural stone to go with that look. I mean, like the brick.
No, I mean, I've got a Dilbeck book in there. You need to read that or look at it because that house is in there. And
It's painted in there?
yeah.
Okay, then probably is, yeah.
And that
That's
book was
crazy.
like in the 70s or 80s. And so, I mean, at least since that last 50 years, it's been painted.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
We know historically they don't really change houses.
So you're working on the Dilbeck. you're also going out to that ranch project for us, right?
Yeah, I'm talking to the PM out there, and I think he's going to need us like middle of the month, next month.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
is that where you did the day of the life?
He's finishing
video?
No, I haven't shown anything out there.
Where was that day in the life video done? Day in the life of a craftsman. That was like 3 weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago.
That was at the Dillbeck.
That was Dillbeck. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, what are you talking about? The POV cam?
Yeah.
So that's a new thing I started doing. I'm wearing like a police badge cam, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like a GoPro mount.
Yeah.
And it just shows you what I'm doing. Because it's
that's
so hard
It was
to
really
like,
neat.
set up a tripod and like
Right.
it takes so much time. So
Well,
I'm just like, I'll show it this way.
Yeah, it was really. I thought everything looked fine. I
Yeah.
wasn't like bothered by the change in perspective or anything, but honestly, it gave me like a really good look of like what it was like to shadow someone. You know?
Yes, yeah. And I'm adding some like humor in there too. I don't know if you saw
Definitely.
So have you Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
the game?
Yes.
They have like GTA radio and they'll have ads on there. It's all fake. It's like, vote yes on Proposition 22 to legalize cocaine. And I like overlay that when I'm driving and people like, what's on the radio? You know? And I just cut it off. It's funny. But some people think it's real. And then there was another one where the lady was like, stop messing around. Just get the surgery today. And like, you know, call us and be like normal people. And like, it's hilarious.
That's good.
I'm having fun with the POV stuff.
It's good.
Yeah.
And your family's doing well?
Yeah. They're doing great.
And you think you'll be in that house for a while longer?
I think we will. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I
just,
love it.
It's just so much financial stuff to move.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
That's
I think I'll
such a
be there
burden.
for a while.
That's cool.
So I hope y'all like us.
How is YouTube going?
Good. Yeah. I feel like with the POV videos.
I feel like you've hit a creative jump recently. I don't know if you feel like that.
I do. Yeah. I feel with the POV camera, I feel like this is going to be good.
Because it's not draining anymore to like go set up a tripod, go do the cut, go do a different tripod.
Lot of work, yeah. And it's kind of like, I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes from day to day.
Yeah.
So I'll just show up and like, what do we need to do type thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird if you're like setting up stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, the heck?
I was asking because I remember one time we were talking about YouTube and you had thought maybe some of the stuff that you had done caused the YouTube to decline. I had a video on a ranch project we were doing. They did a Tesla roof. And
I saw the video. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was on the build show. It hadn't been on YouTube yet. But YouTube, since I loaded it up there, my YouTube numbers have dropped in half.
Because
it says Tesla?
I don't know.
Because of all the anti-Musk stuff right now.
The anti-Musk stuff. When we filmed that, I thought this would be one of my best videos ever because of it's a Tesla roof. And who's put on a Tesla roof? This is really cool. It's fun. The hate I've gotten on that thing is just like it's frustrating and kind of shocking how political people are
over building.
And I'm just like,
you're like, I don't really care about the politics.
I don't care.
Putting a Tesla roof on it.
I think this is a cool roof. And one of the cool things about it was that they only hooked up about 30% of the panels.
Yeah.
And because they couldn't support all the electricity and everything, I was like, the capacity on this roof. I mean, really, if you wanted to study what solar and everything else could do in a good way, I mean, this would be it. And it was just, anyway, it was.
You know why it probably got cut in half?
Why?
Well, this is like all like the YouTube behind the scenes stuff. Like I know a lot of advertisers don't like to be put in front of political stuff one way or the other. And so because you immediately lose 50% of your fan base if you associate one side or the other. And so
the algorithm,
if it sees Tesla in the name or something, because it's now been politicized, it will probably be taken out. Like, because advertisers will say, hey, we don't want to be put in any videos that are talking about Tesla, about this, about that.
That's an interesting point.
So
anyway, I ended up taking it down.
Yeah.
It's just,
it was that bad.
Yeah.
Half. I mean, that's that bad. But you're saying on YouTube, when you released it, you got a lot of hate. Or on the build show.
On Instagram, when I put it on there, I got a lot of hate. So much that we just took that reel down. And then when I loaded it up, because I loaded it up on YouTube, but it's not going to play for about another month and a half.
What did you say?
2 months.
Just change the name from Tesla. Just
I did.
put in like electric roof or
I did.
solar powered roof.
Did you say like Doge or something? Or
No, I said Tesla roof. I'm excited about this Tesla roof. Then I took that out of there because I knew that was getting all the hate.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just like, this is what Richard was talking about.
Yeah. Sometimes you can really like not even know it and shoot yourself in the foot.
It was an update on the ranch project, which is going great, which is a cool project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a portion of it was Tesla, because we had talked about making a full video on Tesla. We're like, let's just do this and let's just kind of make it part of this thing. Isn't that weird?
So crazy.
It's frustrating.
Were you wearing a MAGA
It's all
hat,
that.
I had to take off my Donald Trump mask.
Yeah.
I seen a guy with a Trump mask in front of the White House.
A mask?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
That was crazy.
How was your DC trip?
That was fun. Yeah, we speaking of politics.
Let's jump back into politics.
Yeah, so I voted. No, I'm just kidding. We went to me and Ashley 15 years last month, March 27th.
Attaboy.
Nice job.
Got it. No. 15 years of marriage, and then we were like, we need to go to the Northeast. We always go like to California or Florida, some like beach stuff. But now that I'm into architecture, she's really gotten into gardening.
Oh, cool.
We're like, there's a lot of both up there.
Yeah.
So we planned the trip for like 4 days. First stop was Jefferson's Monticello.
Yeah.
Which that was really cool.
It's a mecca. Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like crazy. Like it actually did feel kind of spiritual in a way. Because Jefferson, what I learned from you guys, like architect, founding father, second president, first vice president. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, he's probably one of the most prolific, interesting
human beings
in American history. I mean, if he's not number, top 5, he's, top 3.
Don't let Lin-Manuel Miranda hear you say that.
Who is it?
The guy who wrote the Hamilton play. Don't let him
Jefferson's unbelievable. And then when you realize he did building 2, it takes him to another plane.
It does.
That's crazy. Yeah, so we toured that.
Did you go to the UVA campus?
No, I wanted to, and I wish we did. We have to go back.
Yeah, you got to go back.
You cannot see that.
You can't see it all.
You can't see everything. You're kind of overwhelmed, too. You're like, wait, what's over there? And like, you have to just choose and go somewhere.
It's so overwhelming because you're like, everything
so
starts to look historic. And you're like, wait a minute, this is here too?
And I have like an opinion about that, too. Like, so we went to Monticello, and then, which we always said Monticello because we have this neighborhood over here. And we're from Texas, funny. It's like
do the same thing.
And then he has this like, did you see that calendar thing at in the foyer or whatever entry?
Can't remember it.
It's like a ball that, so when he walks in, it like tells him what day it is. It moves down to like Thursday or whatever.
No way.
The guides were really good. All the guides were good. On all of our little
that's
trips.
Always so helpful
it's
too.
So nice.
Yeah.
And we were like going through the entry, then like the little side hall, and then the parlor. The lady said something that like literally gave me chills. She was like, these mirrors right here in this parlor have never been changed. They were here when Jefferson was here. They were here through building this whole thing. John Adams visited Jefferson here. So like she was saying all these people that came here, and she was like, so every reflection has been seen in that glass. And I was like, whoa, that's so crazy.
It's crazy. You start to feel so close to the history. It starts to feel so accessible.
It just feels like real. Like, oh yeah, like it kind of like it makes you a little patriotic.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
So we did that, and I never even knew like that was on the back of the nickel. The lady was like, so we're out here in the field and you're actually standing in the back of the nickel. And I was like, what the? And she showed like a big nickel.
Yeah.
I guess I never paid attention to the what's on the nickel.
Architecture on the back.
It was crazy. So great experience. Then from there drove up to Winterthur, which was I would just go back to Winterthur and not leave.
Were you blown away at the craftsmanship of everything?
Yes. It's like at Monticello, at Winterthur especially, like completely blown away.
The variety of things that you see there, and that these high style Georgian, these simple Georgians, the Federal, the Greek Revival, it's just and the level of execution is so high. I mean, you went to France.
Oh yeah,
Jerk,
I saw
jerk.
that was so crazy.
You went to Virginia. That just travel is just such an important piece of being a master builder.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it opened your eyes even more?
I feel like it was a life-changing experience.
Yeah.
Like, and Ashley said that too. She's
Yeah.
like, I want to like do stuff to our house again.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to do cool stuff. But at Winter Tour, I had my big, I have this new lens. It's a 28 to 400. And I was like, I'm going to like zoom in close. And the lady was like, that can't come in. And I was like, but Brent brought his, Austin. I didn't say that. I was like, all right. So you put it in a locker.
Yeah.
And then you can just have your phone out and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's crazy how no one can film there.
Wow.
And this guy gets to film there. So I'm over there, like the tour guide is this lady, and she's like walking us through. And I'm like, I'm gonna drop his name,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna name drop Brent. So I say,
that doesn't even get you anywhere. Throw this guy out.
It actually got me somewhere. Yeah,
Did it really?
Get this bozo out of here.
It
did
opened
get
doors?
me somewhere. Yeah, because I was like, you wouldn't happen to know my buddy
Brent Hull.
We're good friends.
Jackson Hole. Wait, no. I closed the door on you.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, he broke a bunch of stuff. So I said,
Yeah.
do you know of Brent Hull? And she's like, she kind of like jumped. What? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm friends with them. And she's like, how do you? So I kind of told her like,
We did the podcast.
we used to do the
yeah.
podcast, and I learned a lot from him. And she was like, okay, let me take you over here. So she like showed us more stuff that was like more geared toward. I mean, everything there.
See,
is
they're
amazing.
what are they called? Docents or patrons or the guides there are really good, very well trained, and they'll actually like if you went to Winter Tour and said, I want to see federal card tables, okay, because I'm doing a study on federal card tables, they would map out a little path for you to go.
That's so cool.
And take you and show you all the federal card tables that he's got.
I gotta go to Winter Tour.
You do.
I don't think I've ever been.
No, you wouldn't like it.
Okay. All right, I won't. I'll take it off the list.
Yeah, take it off the list. Yeah, we should probably all go.
I would love. I
go.
want to go back. Like I would love to go back.
Yeah, it's a special place.
So then the other two. So it was like it was me and Ashley and this other couple, and they kind of heard. They were kind of browsing around. They were like, "Wait, what are y'all talking about?" And I was like, "Oh." She goes like, "Oh, he knows Brent Hull, and they go, I just watched one of his videos because you have the series." So I guess people are watching that before they go there.
Oh, interesting.
And he's like,
You actually have a lot of those. North Bennett, people said the same thing. They're like, I saw your dad's video because he's the only one who actually does a tour of the school. Like no one walks me through a tour of the school.
That's interesting.
So I liked that.
So what you're doing is making a difference.
Working.
That's
People
cool.
are actually watching. That's interesting. The
well, half the people aren't anymore. But
did Ashley like the gardens?
Yes, I actually really enjoy the gardens too. Like,
and did they have the follies out in the field and stuff still?
what's a folly?
we did.
Like a little like they had a little temple or a little tent or a little pavilion.
I
or a
don't
little
think they had that
the
out.
thing that you when you're walking around, they'll have these set in the distance so you can walk over to it and be out. It was kind of
They have like the
classical.
hangout spots, like benches and stuff, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. But we went on like the trolley tour.
Oh,
and it was
okay.
like
Yeah.
beautiful.
It is
like
beautiful.
everything it was like the beginning of spring, and everything's like blooming and
That's awesome.
changing colors.
I think there's more people that go to the gardens than go to the house. I think that's something like that there.
Well,
I think so too, because if you get the membership,
yeah.
you can just go every day.
And they
like,
have
walk around.
Like if we go there, you can walk around some of those parts, and then they'll show you all the old greenhouses and stuff that they had set up, and all
I didn't even see that.
he has like Henry DuPont would. I kind of need to show you the drape room. They've got a room that's probably from that wall to here, 2 times wider. And all it is the
So
curtains
40
from the
yards by 80 yards?
different rooms hung up, and he would basically change the drapes, change the bedding, and change the flowers based on what was blooming in the on their campus. I mean, they had their own post office at Winter Tour.
She took us by that.
And so
they had their own train station.
They had their own train station. I mean, it was
It was a working farm.
Yeah. Thing. He raised prize Holstein cows. I mean, he was like basically a very wealthy guy who didn't like blow his money on cocaine and prostitutes.
Who's he?
Henry DuPont.
DuPont. Okay.
And he basically said, I'm going to make cows better. Dairies better. I'm going to do architecture. I'm going to. There was science and stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, every rich guy is just cocaine and prostitutes.
That's all there is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though? He was a wealthy, son of a very rich guy.
Like, he did it the right way.
And
if you were to be a billionaire, that's Brent Hull up there doing that.
Yeah.
He loved all that and apparently was obsessive about that and had his people come in. Okay, what colors do you want it today? And he was very involved.
Mm-hmm.
Very
and
involved.
He seemed like he really involved. He really cared about like everything.
Yeah.
Like she was telling us stories like on that staircase, how some lady came and like auctioned it off and he was like, I'm getting that. It's going to go perfect. Like right here or whatever. Like, but he built the whole thing up, right? Like he only had that first section and then he copied it.
Yeah. I mean, it's now the additions and the stuff that they put onto that house, it's hundreds of thousands of feet. I'd say that it's I think it's just under.
And they do different styles, right?
It's all yeah.
So 1640 to 1860 house styles and rooms he has from at Winter Tour.
You have to go, like,
it's nuts.
It's all room styles.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not set up as room styles. It's set up as like. This was Port Royal was a Georgian house that was built in Philadelphia that got torn down, and he bought 4 of the rooms out of there, and those rooms are now installed at Winter Tour.
Yeah,
and so you can see Port Royal and what a high style Georgian house in 1740, 50, 60 was, and what it looked like.
It's like a time machine.
Sense.
Yeah,
it's like
it's cool.
Each room you step through is like.
This is from Maryland, and this is from Virginia, and this is from Georgia, and this is from North Carolina. That's
awesome.
It's really crazy.
It's the nicest of the. It's almost like coming like when I first came here, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy stuff." You remember we always talk about that. Like going there was like, "This is insane."
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was excited to hear you went there because I'm always wanting people to become a master builder, and I don't think you can do that without travel. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that the level of inspiration that you now have, that you're inspired to get better. Ashley's saying, I want to fix up our house now. Yeah. I mean, doesn't happen. I don't think it happens without travel. No. You went to France, right? You're seeing things that are, off the charts, right? It's just, crazy how different and built that French stuff is to American. American stuff really is kind of chintzy.
It's how you say, je ne sais pas. Yeah, no, it's not good.
Right? I mean, they're building out of stone. We're building with wood, right?
They had the joie de vivre.
You can find like cool stuff here, but it's like over there, it's like everywhere.
And so
you have to look here.
But look at the steps we're taking. We've got the stuff that's being built today. The house is being built with no trim, right?
So good.
Go back to the 50s, 60s. Then you go to the turn of the century. Then you go back to the 1700s. And now you're looking at stuff going, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Then you go to France or England or see what they were making. It's just like,
in the 1400s.
And then you look at where we are here, and then you look at what they used to do, and you're like, well, no wonder this is crap.
Yeah.
This is ugly. And in order to get better, you have to go to the mountaintop.
Careful with that.
You got to go to the mountaintop.
I don't want to do that. So.
Winter Tour, I would say, is the mountaintop.
I agree.
I don't think there's a better place.
In America.
In America. I don't know about, the places you were showing on your stories. I open up your story and it's like all like 100 things. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. Like,
I felt bad because I was like, if people want to see this, they'll click through it. If they don't, they'll swipe.
There was some cool stuff there.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that struck me, and I know we talked about it before, but you would see one panel, right? And it would be like the most intricately carved panel you've ever seen in your entire life. And then you like pan around the room and every single panel has a year's worth of carvings done into it. You know what I mean? Like, just like
you're talking about
that.
Like the mindset of like who has that dedication.
It's in the other room now.
Why are you getting rid of
the French paneling?
The white one?
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just crazy because, that was their wainscot and they had that, and then there were just the panels that were inset into it.
And this was wood?
It was wood. It was all carved out of wood.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. You're just like, what? Who does that? The French, apparently.
So crazy.
But I was talking with one of my classmates about the same thing because he was like, it's Kevin. He's been on the podcast before, but he was saying something about how, like, how does this work? Like, do you feel like our craftsmen are even good, or do you feel like and it was like, I don't know. It just feels like we've had good craftsmen here before, but over there, it was just another level. And I don't know if the craftsmen were better, or if they just had more money or cared more, or if they, or
it was
had
a
more time on their hand.
A combination of three things.
Yeah.
Money, right? The wealth over there was multi-generational, right? The families will never run out of money.
Yeah.
And so the trades are better, the skills better, and the historic precedent is better. There's more interesting things to be inspired by and learn from. Like if you're building carpentry in today, right? You don't understand what trim opportunities you have if you study stuff from the Georgian period,
right?
And if you understand that Georgian stuff, you can do better stuff today. Those people have this stuff, at
Way
this
higher,
level
yeah.
that they can look back to and go, oh, there's the standard we're looking back to. If you don't have a standard today, if you don't understand where we came from, you'll be, putting the clamshell molding going, this is great.
Right.
Because
It's got a curve.
It's got a curve. Yeah, look at this.
It's a nice curve.
Honey, there's I got trim on here.
Better than nothing, but
Look, we've got a crown.
But
our house is fancy.
So their
we've
winter
got a crown.
is like everywhere and so much older.
Yeah, it's
kind of, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they've gone through multiple generations of, Baroque, and they've got Rococo, and they've got neoclassicism, and they've got,
Because there was a difference, honestly, Richard, between like some of the places that we went, like the chateau, like we went to a bunch of chateaus, so all castles, but then some of them had like next level stuff, and then some of them were like, this would be awesome, but I could probably see something akin to this in America, maybe 2 steps down, but it's still close.
Yeah.
But then like
the South Lake houses.
not quite
especially
that good.
not that good. But it was like the Fontainebleau, that one was like the nicest of the nice. And that was like a palace for multiple years. And that one was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. And then a couple of the other ones was like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. It's like better than anything I've seen in America, but it still wasn't like, anyway.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just,
there's levels to it.
There's levels
too.
even there, yeah.
After winter, because we was playing for 4 days, but I do my stuff kind of spontaneous.
Yeah.
Because we're just like, what do we feel like doing?
Yeah.
So I was like, our last day, we're going to spend it in DC. So it was like, we drove to this place, Annapolis, Maryland. And I didn't know anything about that place. I was like, oh, it's a cool little spot by the bay, whatever. And
did you see the Hammond Hardwood House?
Maybe. I mean, is that where it is in Annapolis? That place was crazy.
William Buckland, he's one of my heroes, building heroes. He built the Hammond Hardwood House. Thomas Jefferson, our guy, said that the doorway to Hammond Hardwood House is the nicest doorway in America when he did it.
What does that look like?
1760s. It's gorgeous. But
that place, we didn't know what we were doing
that's
there.
crazy.
We kind of stumbled in there, and we ended up staying in a hotel that was like from 1747.
Wow.
And it was like Georgian style. It was like everything there was like, it was weird. We just went to Winterthur.
Yeah.
And then we stayed in this hotel, and it was like, hey, it's like we're staying at Winterthur.
Yeah.
It was really cool. So we just stayed there.
So you kind of started connecting the dots between some of these. Like, they had this at Winterthur.
And then the streetscape there was so beautiful. Like all the houses are so old and like historic. So many all these houses have like pediments and
it's a beautiful city.
It's so nice.
Something's crazy when proportions hit perfectly. Like that's what I would say that's the distinguisher on that doorway.
I've been doing a study on beauty. Aquinas and a bunch of other people say that beauty is when it captures your soul, and there's this spark of happiness or joy that goes along with it. And so it's pretty simple, but it reminded me of that you'd see something, you just go like, oh, and it just completes you. Like you keep saying, right?
Yeah.
You see it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And then when you see this little twist of something that you're like, it's pretty special when something's beautiful that way. And too much of our built environment today isn't beautiful. It's just so functional, it's ugly.
Yeah. It's exactly right.
What else did you guys do in DC?
Well, so that's
or
what the
Annapolis,
funny
I
part
guess.
is.
Yeah.
Annapolis, we just kind of got food and just kind of walked around.
Yeah.
We're pretty simple. Like,
Did your kids like it?
they didn't go.
It was just them.
Oh, just you and Ashley.
My mom watched them.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she helped us out big time. But I do want to take them back we didn't get to go to the Colonial Williamsburg. I want to take them there, which is like, again, I wanted to go to the UVA, wanted to go there. And I was like, I just have to go to Winterthur.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I came here to go to Winterthur.
Yeah, I think you made the right decision.
Yeah, you did.
So then the last full day, we go down to DC, and it's the peak cherry blossom season, which sounds really good, but it was horrible. Like it took like 45 minutes to go 4 miles. I've never seen like 1 million people. There was probably like over 1 million people there.
Wow.
Like it was
Were the cherry
insane.
blossoms good looking?
Yeah, they were. It was really cool. It was amazing.
Did your wife love it?
We both were like, we should have stayed at Winterthur.
Really?
Yes, because even like, I don't know how to explain it, and I hope this, like, whenever we're in DC, I didn't really like it that much. I don't know why. It was just like overwhelming and like so perfect, and like it was all neoclassical, which is great, but it was just everywhere. And I don't know if it was just like a overload, and I was just like, what do I look at? But I just felt like overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have stayed at Winterthur, because that place was, I don't know. It just hit me different.
Did you see any cool museums in DC?
No, it was like
Just
so
quick.
packed.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Okay, yeah.
everything, like we didn't even go up to the Lincoln
Monument? Yeah.
where he's sitting up there.
Right.
Because like we were looking at it from the Washington Monument.
Yeah.
The obelisk, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's the one. I'm standing there and like I'm looking over there, and the line is like almost to where we are.
No way.
Yeah, it was like, no, I'm not. I'll come back.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's interesting.
And then the hotels were filling up.
Yeah.
It was getting crazy. I was just kind of like
That's a
ready
lot.
to go home.
Yeah.
It was
That's
like,
a lot.
Well, if you go to Colonial Williamsburg, your kids will have fun. There's a bunch of kids stuff you can do there. There's a bunch of gardens and the craftsmanship. Again, it's a colonial village, right? So that it's not like there are nicer things like the Governor's Palace, but there's something for everybody. And so I think I would definitely recommend you take your kids to that.
I want to, and I think they'll enjoy it too.
There's a ton to do there.
I don't remember it when we went.
You got to go back.
I know. I'm excited too. There's a lot of things where like we were taking as kids, and I'm like, I know I've been there, but I don't remember it.
Maybe I should wait then, because they're not even going to remember it.
How old are your kids?
Now they're 13's the oldest, and then Josh is about to be 7.
I say wait, like
Yeah.
give them another vacay with
Maybe
grandma.
just do the
and
beach. Again.
Yeah.
Because they always love it. But when y'all go to DC, do y'all know what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you mean.
Kind of like, I love it. It's great architecture. It's beautiful.
I think you got to know where to go, and it's actually for a long time is my favorite city because I thought the monuments were so awesome, and then I'd study the history of that. Understood that the difference in stone between the Washington monuments, whereas it sat unfinished for 50 years before because we ran out of money and just all these and the war and everything else. And so there's cool things like that. But I mean, I think the classical architecture is done well there. And so, the Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson, they're beautiful buildings to go stand on. And we don't really have public monuments like that
Anywhere else.
Do it?
Anywhere else.
Right. And so it's just like this celebration of some of these great men, and the buildings are awesome. And you get a greater appreciation for the strength of classicism when you stand on, the platform where Lincoln's up there, and the scale of the different pieces and parts, and it's pretty impressive.
It's probably the people too. I think it was just like, crazy.
And the way the city's laid out, the way it's organized, the way it's, it's like a classical city. And so, I think and to go places like Library of Congress is unbelievable. You'll just blown away
like
at the
inside
architecture.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
watch National Treasure first and then go.
You got to watch a movie.
Back.
You'd have to watch a movie.
What's that? No, I'm just kidding.
I would give it another try.
Yeah, I think I will.
But I think Colonial Williamsburg's first.
But I know what you mean, though. I actually know what you mean about DC. Because me and Allie went recently. We had a wedding outside of DC. And when we were in the city of DC, I was kind of like, we're in like a massive city. I also don't love big cities like that. So that kind of was hard. But we went to the Bible Museum, which was awesome. And then we left and kind of walked around, did the monument little lap around the square. And then we only had a little bit of time because we flew in, rented a car, went there, and then left and went to the wedding. But as we left the city, it was so beautiful. Like that, like classic Northeast, New England-y kind of feel. It was just beautiful. Like the countryside was beautiful. And there was a lot of cool houses on the countryside. So like I even liked that part more than I necessarily liked the major city of DC.
I think rural Virginia is one of the most beautiful states in America.
That's what I was going to say. Well, that first night we stayed at this place called the Clifton, and apparently like Thomas Jefferson built it for his daughter. And it was
no way.
It was a really, really nice place. Like it wasn't like perched up on a little hill, like just simple B&B. But this old historic house, it was like that. I enjoy that more, like you said, the big city. But I got to go back when it's not peak cherry blossom season. That was crazy.
Yeah, there may be something to. I don't know. I feel like people had to care for their houses in a different way than they do today, because the houses turned into like an investment commodity to where people like
today,
it has turned into an investment commodity. Yeah. From back then where it was like, this is my house I'm going to live in. And so much so I'm staying here. I might just build an addition onto this house if I need more room or whatever, instead of like, I'm going to sell this house and buy a new one. Like, I think that also really helps to make you want to have beautiful things in your house rather than not want to have beautiful things.
You're not trying to flip an investment. You're
where with an investment, you might go, I want to put in new windows because they're new, but they're also not good windows. They're just new windows, or like those little things where you don't care if it has moldings because you're like, oh, I'm only going to be here for, this is my starter house. I'm not really hoping that it's like amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Even yesterday when we were putting together some of that Windsor stuff.
Yeah.
Like even John was like, that looks really cool. He's like, why don't we use this more often? I'm like, it costs a little bit more and they're not interested in
a little bit more.
A little bit of, they don't want it.
So are you still working for homeowners?
No, I haven't been.
You've been out of that game for a while, right?
I haven't been doing it for a while. Probably like, probably right around the time I started working with you.
Okay.
I still get some of the calls and stuff, but I usually just like say, hey, I'm like busy right now. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. People want it, like builders especially, their drivers just cost.
Yeah.
That's it. They're not going to. I've tried to talk people into Windsor, builders.
Right.
And they're like, it's not.
We're going up to look at a thing in May. We're going to shoot some video on a house his instructor, the second-year instructor, is working on. And it was interesting talking to him because this is a 1750s house.
One of them is.
That's
and
cool.
It's 3 houses pushed together.
He's restoring it. And his thing is like, I know of 12 houses that are, 18th century houses built in the 1700s that people are just tearing down. They don't care anymore.
Are they at least selling the architectural salvage from it?
No. He says it all goes into a landfill.
No.
Yeah. So what this guy does is he will take a lot of this stuff and just go store it. He's like built a bunch of sheds on his property so he can store it.
And he's getting this stuff for free then.
Yeah, he's getting it for free.
And
then he'll use it. But, he's just got an immense catalog of all of this stuff that would be so good.
Yeah, he's and
Just
so
can't
I
be
can't
used.
wait to see it. But it's you talk about disposable, and unfortunately, when you become a disposable country, everything's cheap. And so these things that should have real lasting value are not appreciated.
Yeah.
And these historic houses, and he started describing these houses that are unbelievable, and that he would that they're just throwing in the things that he's just trying to save them.
That's so devastating.
It's just like
Isn't that crazy?
Just imagine like a bulldozer just rushing into Monaco.
Yeah.
Oh, he's described how he is working on a home as the destruction crane is like sitting there, and he's running around the house trying to pull
stuff out of there.
good stuff
That's
out of that,
such
like
a
pull
funny,
windows,
like,
pull
visual.
Yeah,
And the
the guy's literally just waiting
with the hard hat
in the
on,
thing,
just, like, with
just
the wrecking
ready to
ball.
go. Literally, isn't that crazy?
That is such
It
a
just
funny.
feels wrong, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wild. But yeah, he's
so
doing great
sad.
work. But also something that's kind of funny about this, like our school next year, we're going to be restoring, well, everything could change because it's nothing set in stone, but we could be restoring John Hancock's door, right? So one of my instructors found
It's a signature guy, right?
yeah, big one. But important character in American history, and his house got destroyed a couple years ago because someone was just like,
No, it got bulldozed to make way for the state
For Walmart?
No, for the
because I don't know what it got made, what moved
for the state building.
but originally the Hancock family was trying to sell the house to the state as the governor's building because it's a beautiful house. It's like they were trying to make it into a thing and like
a
give it over
museum
to
type thing?
exactly, or make it like a state building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like make it like a
But then the door ended up in like the basement somewhere.
right. And so
That's
Steve,
crazy.
my first year instructor, who's a listener to the podcast, hey Steve, he saw someone dragging it down the hallway, and he was like,
Wait.
well, you guys aren't handling this with care. Do you mind if I take it into my care? And so Steve took it into his care, into North Bennett Street's care. So North Bennett Street is, the
In
caretaker
possession
of it, but it's owned by another museum. But someone had just stapled a tag onto the side of it, and just not treating some of these things with respect.
And then they used an historic photo to rebuild this
They've
thing.
completely reimagined the front entry of it. And so our second year, one of our deals that we're going to do is we're going to be restoring that John Hancock door, doing the doorway, doing the second level, and just making it into an exhibit to, honor our country's history.
Is it going
But-
to stay at North Bennett Street? That'd be cool.
I don't know. I think there's in talks of putting it into some museums. I'm not in the middle of the negotiations, but they were talking about where they were trying to put it in. Like there's apparently a warehouse that has all these different buildings in it, and so they were talking about putting it there, and it's a museum.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Like just dragging the Ark of the Covenant. Like,
right, isn't that crazy? It's like
where do y'all want this?
yeah,
Let's put it in the basement.
yeah. We don't need it right now. Yeah, so it's just funny. It's funny how our nation is disposable in a lot of ways, and so or has that mentality of disposability, and
It's sad.
it's sad. But I think there's just a miss on, if we had the right frame of mind and thinking. I was talking with some classmates. There's potential for, I don't know. Well, it's too big of a topic, but I was just thinking like if the housing market goes under, houses start to become a less of an investment commodity and more of like we just need to keep this commodity.
Yep.
Then it could turn around and start, turning a corner for the everyday person to want to beautify their own homes in more than just an accent wall.
Yeah.
You made that joke the other day.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have an accent wall.
Yeah, I was at the White House and I was
Yeah.
saying, like, the homeowner here called me for an accent wall. We'll see how it goes. So I gave him the bid. We'll see.
Yeah. Well,
good luck
fingers
with that.
crossed. That'll.
Something Trump. Something.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
And there's like there's a curve to the wall that they want
he
it on,
wants
right?
it painted orange or something.
Yeah. Okay.
You can
Hey,
cut that out. That'll probably make people mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to talk about your shirt, your merch?
I mean, if you want to plug my,
We
I'm
always
still
wanna
working
plug.
on my little carpenter
Yeah.
architectural brand, which, good segue, I haven't launched it yet, any of this stuff, but I have a gift for each of you.
No way. Look at this.
That is what we call an eternal pencil.
Eternal?
Well, it's
It'll last forever.
Here you go, Austin.
This is awesome.
Okay, so here's how this
What
happened.
in the world is this?
It's a little nib that screws on, and you can replace the lead. It's a solid aluminum block.
No way.
That pencil. So
Hey,
when
look at
you're
that.
lead, if you drop the pencil and the tip breaks off, you just replace them. You can get tips off Amazon for like.
And this is a lead tip?
It's a graphite. They have. I think that one's graphite. I think they do have leads.
This is pure lead.
But
You
it
don't like it?
works really well. It lasts a long time, and you just replace. the
Yeah.
tip. So the idea behind this was we're out at the barn project, and Tom always has these pencils with these tips,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You got to use these pencils," and I'm like, "No, I like a carpenter pencil.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to scribe something, and I'm used to the feel of it.
Right.
So this is all I use." He's like, these are good tips. So he's been trying to get me to use them, and I was like, nope. So he's like, I'm gonna make a pencil that Richard will use that has those tips.
And he
on
made
it.
this?
He made this?
He made this.
This is cool.
That is very
And
cool.
Did he CNC it,
he's
or
a
how did he do it?
genius. Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
It's really cool.
Very
So
cool.
That's neat.
he makes those
Thank
fences, and yeah, no problem. He's always doing like creative stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and his mind just works in a different way, and it's cool to see that. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
such
it's
a
awesome.
cool. As soon as he handed it to me, I was like, "This is like so."
It's really neat.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
light.
Yeah, it's light.
Yeah.
and it's even if you just like set it on your desk, it's like a cool display.
It
piece.
is.
I don't know.
Yeah, I love
This
it.
is neat. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, it's squared. That's the brand, and
Starting
maybe
your design.
Maybe one day I'll launch.
Do you have
it.
a website up yet?
I do, yeah. Which I was gonna tell you.
Is it pre-orders available now, or not even?
I mean, if you order something, it's up there, but I haven't talked about it at all.
Okay, cool.
It's squaredapparel.com. If you see anything on there you like, just send me your address. I'll just send it to you.
Sweet.
What size are you?
Large.
Large?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
XL. I'm kind of in the middle right now. Trying to get back to a large.
Yeah, he's kind of fat.
He's taking on the dad thing we all go
Yeah,
through.
I'm going to a dad bod, and then I'm whatever's past a dad bod. I'm getting there, so I got to get on my run game.
Yeah. Well, and if that goes for y'all too.
Yeah.
I know Brent's not a big t-shirt guy, but if you see anything on there you like,
Cool. I'll check it out.
I love it.
out. Yeah.
Thank you, Richard.
love it.
That's
Thanks
huge.
for having me back.
Yeah, thanks for
Awesome.
coming.
100, huh?
100.
This is crazy.
Yeah,
It's cool.
it's awesome. Well, thanks for watching this episode, and we'll see you in the next one.